rock your body, yeah.
Hello, hello, BAM fam. It is September 16th, and here is what you missed. Today's question of the day was, how do we know what we know? We weren't born with all this knowledge, so how did we get it in the first place? Well, you know, straight out of the gate, I'm going to ask you what you think because it's your opinions and your knowledge that matters most. So you shared your thoughts on the collaborative chalkboard. Then we kind of concluded that we know what we know because of our ability to collect observations. Yay, observations. We have 5 senses that allow our bodies and our minds to garner knowledge about our world. As a class, we put some of our observation skills to the test. We tested our visual observation skills by watching a video in which we were tasked with counting the number of times the team in white passed the basketball. But there was a surprise at the end of the video. We were asked, actually, if during that time we noticed the giant moonwalking bear that crossed through the game. Some of you all were astute enough to notice the bear, and some of us were not. We discussed what would help us reflect back on experiences in order to see what happened that we didn't originally see. Take a picture. It'll last longer, they say. We got to document our observations so that we can refer back to what we experienced in the event that we are asked to report about something that we didn't originally go into an event looking for. After all, you can't see everything at once. Sometimes you have to review things multiple times to see it all. Then, I warned you that we were going to listen to and hear a video compilation, but that your eyes might deceive you. So, this activity really tests your ability to auditorily observe your surroundings. We watched a video montage that contained some common songs, some you know the lyrics to by heart, but when you're presented with closed captioning that challenges what you're hearing, sometimes your eyes mislead you, as we all learned. Then we talked about the body! And I dropped this shameless Backstreet Boys plug because I'm a 80s baby. We watched a contact improv dance video featured on a TED Talk, and we discussed the ways in which the dancers were able to use their body and their space to observe what their fellow dancers were doing, and that enabled them to engage with other dancers in meaningful and artistic ways. You guys may note of the fact that the music was the through line, allowing dancers to connect auditorily with the same wavelength to keep them on beat, on the same energy frequency, and conveying the same emotion. You also noted the vibrations in the floor that allowed for there to be a continuous reverb through all the dancers. You guys made so many observations that I didn't even think of. I was super impressed. We ultimately concluded that the observation style in this dance piece was engagement-based. The dancers were engaging with each other and could predict to a degree the next move of their respective partner. Apparently human chess is real, guys. I don't really know about it, but that's facts. In essence, our senses are the first line of information gathering that tell us about the world. We use the analogy that when you were 2, maybe you wandered over to the stove and you reached out and you found out that the stove top was hot. Those observations made through the fingertips of your little hand told you that things are hot and that you shouldn't touch them in the future. You learned a little bit about your world by exploring it through touch. We continued to note that it's important to record your observations because you can never capture an entire experience 100% accurately with your mind. Speaking of observations, everybody loves a good nature documentary. We tuned into Snoop Dogg on Planet Earth and we observed someone observing the wild world.
Beavers? Those look like, oh my God, that's a crocodile. That's Wally Gator. Look how they stand up on their toes like, hey, cuz, we got to get up out of here.
Why did we watch this video, you might have asked? Well, because we're going to do some independent practice. Head on over to Google Classroom and find the observation conversation to get started on today's homework. And that's what you missed.